A while ago I made a pretty popular video about directing perfect action, centered around the raid. It was an obviously ironic title, looking at how there isn't actually really any perfect way to direct action, just the way that works for the film you're making. The title wasn't just ironic though, it was actually kind of incorrect. That video isn't really about directing action, it's about directing fight scenes. Though I think much of what I spoke about in that video is transferable, there are obviously differences between telling a cohesive, effective story in a sequence like this, and one on the scale of this. I just wanted to take this opportunity as well to ask, if you're enjoying my content, please consider joining me on Patreon, and if not, just like and subscribe. Thank you very much. In preparation for this video, I've had to watch a lot of recent blockbuster cinema, with the Fast and Furious, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, John Wick, James Bond franchises saturating multiplexes, amongst dozens of others. We aren't really starved for thrill ride cinema. The thing is, generally, it isn't that bad. In fact, technically, the action in much of what comes out of blockbuster cinema these days is fine, if that's all you want from your entertainment, for it to be just fine. Action is about telling the story, putting your hero through trial, showing the lengths they're willing to go to, the pain they will endure for their ultimate goal. Show, not tell, is exactly why action exists. We don't want to be told how our heroes are growing, or what they're capable of, we want to see it. I do believe passionately that there are things you can do before, during, and after shooting a set piece that make them a way more involving watch. We need a connection to the character. We need to care. Do I give a shit about a city of personalityless people? Sadly not. Do I care about a puppy I've seen bring a renewed sense of life to a broken man? You bet I do. I was less involved in Atomic Blonde's action simply as I cared less, but I really wanted John Wick to get his revenge. It's not really much of a secret that action sequences are often planned out way in advance of sometimes a director even being hired, and are even more often almost entirely CGI. It is telling that so late in the day Ron Howard was able to come into Solo and take the reins, delivering action scenes that were functional if lacking a particular edge or style. The fact is that yes, a lot of action in blockbusters is handled by previs artists and brought to life through a skilled second unit, but that doesn't have to be the case. It also doesn't have to be the worst thing in the world, but where someone like Spielberg will let someone shoot second unit for him, he knows exactly what is being shot and planned it out with them. He still pretty much directed it from the beginning. Now, this is not going to be me spending the next few minutes describing how everything second unit is wrong or CGI has ruined action forever. I can't deny that in the end, the audience have a thirst for bigger and better than ever before, and often it's not possible to do that entirely on set. My last video talked about how Michael Mann planned all of the pre-production himself for Heat. It led to probably the greatest shootout sequence ever committed to film. I saw recently that director Ched Stahelski gets right in there on set when shooting fight sequences for John Wick Chapter 3. Not having someone on set that knows how the set piece both affects and is an effect of the grander story, and the smaller emotional moments you want to convey within the action sequence, means you're ending up with action that, whilst technically exciting, simply doesn't feel emotionally rewarding. But what about the stuff the director and everyone else needs to make happen on set? I talk a lot about things like geography and eye lines, and whilst that's important, it is handled in a different way to something like this, simply due to the amount of elements in the sequence. Rushing for a huge sci-fi battle may mean you can't linger on geography or eye lines. You have to take into account our experience of the location, how short or long we've spent there before. Can you demonstrate geography earlier, with iconography seen around the set, so that when we come into it later, the audience know where we are easily while shit is going down. Sound and music. This can be set up prior throughout the story, giving us motifs and familiar effects that let us know what amount of danger our characters are in. Directing our attention with sound can be an incredible tool, but you have to be bold enough with how you pace your action and the rhythm of where explosions and music are, and how loud you choose to have everything at the same time, to have moments that stand out sonically and help us through the complex sequence. Rhythm, then, too, is incredibly important, visually as well as in the mix. Big moments of bombast, small moments of character development. Huge obstacle, small obstacle. One raises the grand stakes. One brings us a small victory. It can't just be constant visual noise. You need to show the scale of the set piece, but also you need to remind us where our smaller characters are and what they are facing individually. You need to understand scale to really get the most out of a big set piece. Scale is linked to speed, both in how you shoot and to how carefully or quickly you introduce a danger. It's something Spielberg understands better than anyone, and what some directors simply miss, or producers force on them to be faster, to get through the set piece quicker. Taking your time to establish a danger, such as how long it takes for Spielberg to introduce the T-Rex, is what makes it work so well. The lingering shots, the careful reveal of what it is, the choice of angle, the effect on the wider environment. It's a well-known part of filmmaking that sometimes what you don't see is as important as what you do. It's an extreme example, but this scene in War of the Worlds does so much for the drama with not showing us what is beyond the hill. Remember how World War Z 2 went smaller in the reshoots to make an effective, small-scale, thrilling sequence, as the large-scale one they first shot simply didn't have the right amount of tension and drama. If you're gonna go big, take your time. I don't mean hiding Godzilla being seen completely until the end. I mean simply thinking more from your character's point of view, how they see things. We do seem to have forgotten something when it comes to scale, and its importance in big budget action. CG camera moves are great and all, but if you're moving in such an unrealistic way, constantly, you're reducing the danger. It doesn't feel real. If you want the most drama and tension, the camera work should feel as human as possible. Subjectivity is crucial. Finally, the editing and how that relates to the shot choice is crucial. Cutting too quickly for me is a far larger issue than shaky camera work. After all, in Saving Private Ryan, we are dropped in quickly to absolute chaos, but we have lingering shots. I don't mean throwing in CG-assisted long takes that pull you out of the action more than immerse you due to their clear impossibility, but simply spending longer with our characters to allow us to keep a sense of scale, geography, and character development. If you want to cut quickly, go the Fury Road route. Keep a sense of where you'll be cutting to either by planning or framing in certain ways that you can keep our eye in one place on the screen as you move through your cuts. Big action is about guiding the audience through something. It's a roller coaster, and roller coasters are on a fixed track. You need that fixed track through the chaos at the same time as keeping it exciting and fresh with unexpected twists and turns. Rhythm, pace, geography, sense of scale, editing, and world building make up all of that. And what you do in the narrative leading up to the sequence is how you keep the audience involved and also thrilled. I don't know about you, but I don't really watch back the action scenes from a lot of recent blockbusters on YouTube these days. But I still go back and watch Spielberg's, Woo's, Cameron's, and Chan's. I'll take The Raid over this any day. Let me know if there are any action sequences you've seen recently on a large scale that really impressed you that I may have missed. And check out in the description a number of essays I've made that further delve into the subject of big budget action cinema.